Christmas all over
Just
here.
send me the car now as a gift. So.
You see, he's trying to whine me actually because Didi is supposed to just carry a car dealer as big as Didi. He's supposed to just carry a car and say, "Honorable, take this is just for
I'll
Christmas."
only advise through the safety check since this is the season,
Are
so
you
that you can
serious?
drive easy and soft and go for the chicken and the celebration in a sweet way.
Okay, yeah, talking about safety checks. Today we are going to be talking about safety tips for the season. I'm sure you already know what we're celebrating. We're celebrating Christmas. We're also celebrating New Year in advance. Christmas is just less than 24 hours away. And of course, New Year, it's barely a week from now. So it's only proper we guide you, ranging from how to treat your car this season so that your car doesn't misbehave as well, because most cases you might just be traveling and boom, your car might just break down. Even within the town might be an intra or interstate movement, and before you know it, boom, your car can just break down. So we want to see how we can caution you, how we can advise you on how to take care of your car this season, and aside your car, how to also take care of yourself while driving. Yes, regarding driving this season, so that we will not have breaking down of cars, will not have accidents on our highways, and will not have casualties. You already know what I mean. So, Odidi, when we talk about safety tips, or when we talk about safety in terms of cars, what are we looking at this season? If you want to drive around town, if you want to travel, what are the major things one should look at?
Okay, maybe we should categorize it to two or three. First, we
Okay,
look at it at road safety,
road safety, okay,
personal safety, and probably car safety.
car safety. I like that. Road
So
safety, personal safety,
and
and car
car safety.
safety.
So for the road safety, it means you have to be guided by the rules and regulation as
Okay.
regards this rush hour. Now, this is more or less like a rush hour. Everybody's trying to catch up time, beat up time, and make up to what they've not been able to make up to since January
True.
till now. So it means that there are times that traffic light could flash on. Some people would definitely want to break it. You need to be very conscious about too much believing on the fact that it's your road.
Okay.
Anything can
It's
happen.
my right.
No, don't claim right now. Just be
Okay.
guided with the principle of the fact that there's a road light, traffic light showing, but be guided that someone else is not beating or about to beat, and you run into each other. Especially, there will be some you'll be calculating that this guy is going to beat the traffic, and you're following the suit, and suddenly the person just chooses to halt the movement,
Aye.
and now it
Boom.
means everybody collides together. So road safety checks. And also on the road safety check, there might be too many constructions still ongoing because of the dry weather season, and constructors are leveraging on the fact that they could use this season to repair the roads, and all it means that there might be too many diversions and all of that happening for those traveling long journeys.
That's true.
Even for those on the short journeys too, there might be some diversion based on the constructions going on. So you need to always look ahead to be sure that there is no diversion on the road. Also on the road, there might be too many traffic happening, so you need to always prepare to check either the Google map or check the nearest alternative route to
Okay.
your destination. That would actually guide you. Once you check the map, it gives you an headline that okay, there's some traffic around this side. So if you have too many alternative route, I think it's best advisable to make do of that, even though it might be long. But it guides you to ensure that you have a smooth drive while still celebrating the season or having to go about the season. Now, personal safety. Personal safety is one. Don't eat or drink while driving.
Okay.
Also, personal safety. Take rest when you need to rest. We know you've worked so hard from January till date, and you're still working to catch up to resources and things you need. So please don't overwork yourself and still get yourself drawn out driving. So also ensure you heat LD so you don't drive hungry and create more chaos for the people you're carrying. Because how would you hungry and yet you're driving those that have been well fed and
Knowing too well an hungry man is an angry man.
so you need to drive with proper caution and have a sense of orderliness while driving. Also on the personal safety, it's you taking what needs to be in the car. such
Okay.
as if you're going on a long journey, it's expected you have a little razor blade,
Okay.
torchlight,
Okay.
and I don't want to say knife. So, but razor blade can actually still help out do the function of um, knife. Now, also check all the necessary items expected to be in a car for your journey: the jack, the
The jack, the
spanner, the spare
extinguisher.
tires, the extinguishers, and also check your papers too. If your papers are expired, I'm not sure if you can renew immediately, but I'm sure you can reach out to the necessary office to see how best you get a backup plan, but ensure that your papers are duly registered to avoid harassment and delays on the journey path. And for those within to still ensure that your jacks and spanner, imagine you haven't enjoyed yourself and you find out your tire is flat. You cannot change it. While celebrating, now you're dealing with where is the organizer to fix up your
Late
tire.
hour.
So don't have too many injuries to your celebration. So manage that by ensuring that all that needs to be in the car is there. Also, driving too is very key. Please, please, please mind the way you drive. Drive for two. That's you're driving for someone ahead of you,
Oh.
and you're
Oh,
driving
drive
for
for two.
yes.
I
You
like
have to
that.
you have to drive for two. Mind the person in front of you, and you to be mindful of what you're driving. So don't be so certain about that person in front, while you two you're not so confident about it. You just have to be guided. The two party has to see how best they guide. So safety in general is to ensure that you put the next driver in consideration and you put yourself to in check to ensure we all have a safe drive for this season. And I'm sure we all want to be celebrated and we want to celebrate everyone around us there. So
Interesting. What about the car itself?
well, how best do you celebrate your car is to service your car. Ensure that if the tires are worn out, give your car tire a new Christmas gift by buying a new tire for the next year. If your car is due for servicing, change the oil for a next year, 2025. If anything within the car needs a repair, I feel this is actually a moment you can, give that car that has served you for a particular duration a new facelift, a new body repair, a new touch, just to say thank you for driving me safe or allowing me use you safely. So it's a win-win. Imagine yourself at this point having to make do of that car and the car packed up.
Interesting.
And you can tell me what the experience looks like having to get a taxi this season. Apart from the fun that you will spend more because the logistic is now going to be double.
True. True.
So how do you cope? So tell that car thank you and fix it appropriately.
Okay, now what about those that, especially the commercial bus drivers at this time? If you go to the highways, there's talking about those who are going from one state to the other now. The way they run, the speed is just something else. And every day we keep hearing of accidents. Yesterday on my program, I talked about accident in different parts of the country. We have 17, 10, and the likes. High numbers dying at a go. So how do we check some of these drivers?
Well, truthfully, nobody prays for such, but I tell you, best we can do is to reduce it to the barest minimum. Because some of these things are unavoidable, or some of these things can be avoided. So now, for example, now for some commercial buses, I'm sure they have done what they call speed track
Okay.
or speed limit, whereby once you clock to a certain limit, it beeps and that throws caution on the driver. And why for the regular buses, some don't have this. Now, it might happen to even a car that has a speed tracker or a speed limit, but the
Okay.
point is, there are situations that maybe the pickup time is very late from a particular location, and you're trying to beat some locations in the journey that is very deadly at night.
Okay.
So therefore, you need to catch up to pass a particular location. I can remember when I do make do of the road traveling. I think there's some locations, maybe they say before Okene or after Okene,
Okay.
or is it around Ife and all that, that you need to ensure you drive past a particular location before a
where-
particular time.
Okay. Okay.
So as not to be robbed or
Yeah.
kidnapped or something around that. So for every driver, that follow rules and go on journeys, they have a particular location, haven't experienced so much, they do their possible best to cross that
cross that
location.
part.
So
Okay.
once you have crossed that location at that particular time, the chances of unforeseen circumstances are less. And for some, if they find out they can't get to that spot at that time, they slow back. But if they slow back, where do they still have to reside or keep the passengers waiting before they take the next move? So every of those drivers on the journey are running a kind of a racetrack to beat a different spot or at a particular spot, just because they pick up at a later hour. And for those that leaves early, the volume of people traveling.
Yes.
The rate, the inflow and outflow. So you cannot control everything. If it's a system that actually have surplus provision, good roads, security and all of that, nobody has reason to worry, because the police checks are doing their job, the roads are well constructed, the rail system, the air system, everybody will definitely enjoy the safety of traveling at this season. But they are doing their possible best. But we can always still create room for more improvement. That is why we're saying this. Safety through the government helping providing the necessary infrastructure or structure that makes it easy for all. If you want to go on night journey, you go on night journey and you still feel safe. You want to go daytime, and all the means of transportation, the water and all that, are still being utilized. So what we're saying there is the drivers can still be monitored, or
Okay.
the driver can still be cautioned. I'm sure they have a company they represent.
Some.
Some. And for those that are driving themselves by themselves for themselves,
And for themselves.
so we can always keep advocating or keep creating this public awareness, letting them know that some things can be avoided, and while some things can be much more prevented from happening. What do I mean? If you need to move at this particular time frame, an average of so kilometers per hour,
okay.
and all of that, you will still get to destination.
Uh,
And for
okay.
passengers or for the occupants too, they have a room to always advise the driver. Even
Yeah,
though the
I was
drivers-
actually coming to that. part.
even though the drivers would not listen, but I tell you, if you speak politely to your driver, there is no way in 1 to 10, 6 will respond to you appropriately, because they too might have a family to protect, so they won't just want to waste everybody's life on the journey. So
Okay, now talking about the passengers, there's this attitude Nigerians have that it's, to me, it's very absurd, because sometimes when you want to, you as a passenger now, maybe let's assume a vehicle conveying about 13 to 15 persons, and only just you decide to speak out, and as soon as you're speaking out, sometimes the drivers might talk back at you harshly, and sometimes they will just receive your message. But then you now have some other passengers trying to even counter your own opinion, despite knowing that, okay, this is over speeding for it. They know it, and only you just keep talking, and you hear some other voices from other parts even trying to shut you down or insult you. How do we push or preach unity while in the vehicle? Because I know that if there is uniformity in terms of opinion, definitely that driver will be compelled to
okay,
listen.
in the first place, I said the manner and approach in which you communicate determine how the response looks like.
Okay.
Now, imagine a bus of 13 passengers and someone just started with shout, "Okay, driver, what's the worry now? Why they drive there?" The next person beside might feel offensive with the approach. And before you know, to avoid more chaos, some will choose to be quiet and be murmuring inside. Though they know what you said was right, but the approach has make a mess of the process.
Okay.
While some would start that way and still land so well, and everybody would join the shout till the driver gets sense and stop. And again, because of individual interests, imagine I want to get to a particular destination at the shortest
Because
hour.
I had firsthand, I had experienced that before.
So because of that, somebody too is interested in getting to these our destination at the shop. So they are already prepared their mind that this drive as fast as you can. I know send that you want to reach there. Just get us there in the next so hours. And while the speed is going on, they're just watching, say correct, 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 correct. While the ones that are not really interested in how long or how short the journey is, just get
How
us there.
safe?
So you see now the conflict is already there in the car.
So is it about safety
is
or fastness?
Well, it's about safety, but because I don't know your mind, I don't know where you're going to. We only enter the bus together, right? I don't even know the spirit you carry to enter the castle. So everybody just did, just to see how the matter goes. So if the driver no can get sense, join himself too. You find out that he go land us to where we no plan.
Ah, yeah.
So, but looking at it, that is why the driver has his own spirit itself. Beyond whatever anybody brings to the car, he is like a leader, a conveyor of this occupant. So he is expected to be at the best of all best, irrespective of the calibers of people in the car. So it's unfortunate that most times the driver is the one that comes with a different spirit that everybody has to manage and follow through to just land us safely.
What about drivers that always love to sip before they move?
Well, truthfully, some SIP.
Have you experienced that?
Well, the truth is that some SIP apps, but it's just that it's not advisable to encourage such, because the capability of individual to manage such differs. It differs, so it will not be right on the public air to talk about you allowing SIP or not SIP, but it is advisable to say that it don't drink or don't sip while driving
While
or while you're
driving.
about to drive. You know, individual have what helps them. Some get so balanced while trying to do that, but
It's not
the
advisable.
law and the road safety caution and the VIO has cautioned us all to don't drink and drive and don't.
But then psychologically, sometimes. Okay, let's assume. Okay, not even assumption.
It slows the brain
Aha, I was about saying that.
because I'm a first-hand experience of it.
Okay.
Right, I before now, right, I take a trip from Bini University to Redemption Camp.
Okay.
I was a student, and but sometimes when the body is getting too worked up, you take a little.
Okay.
It slows you down, and you just have this straight look on the road, and it powers you to another level.
But then it makes some people sleep.
Yes, it does not have too long. It doesn't have longevity on you.
Okay, like I know of drivers that even while their cars are being loaded, they choose to still sit somewhere. Sometimes you'll be asking, where's the driver? Where's the driver?
And
You will
some
not see
takes
driver.
very low enough load that they feel that okay, maybe if I had double shot, double shot takes you like 3 hours, and
Okay.
if you have four takes you. So at the first 3 to 2 hours of driving, you have them power the car like never before. Then maybe after 3 hours, the powering of the car voltage drops a little bit. It means the thing is dropping.
It's dropping.
So if you want to feel their pressure, is that first 2 hours of driving. So
But in all this, don't drink.
yes,
While you
that's
are,
the best advice.
especially when you are even conveying people you don't know from Adam.
Because those are one of the reasons that create more accidents. Because while you're being provoked, you're provoked on a wrong note. Because
Yeah.
psychologically, your mind was just to drive alone and manage the speed. But somebody just decided to use insult and create a problem. in
And
your brain.
another thing before our time, because we're about around now, but before we finish this show, there are this set of people that just love to sit in front, but give them 30 minutes, they are already
Sleeping off.
they are somewhere else. I feel it's very wrong. If you know naturally that you
have sleeping
yeah,
nature.
exactly, you sleep a lot, it's advisable that you just go to the back.
See, some love sitting in the front seat, and they just enjoy that front with the driver. And,
But you are sleeping.
yeah, unfortunately, the nature takes up on them, but naturally they just like to sit in the front. Now, this affects the driver positively or negatively. If
Okay.
you have good energy, it helps the driver to feel much more comfortable to enjoy the drive. But if you have a negative energy, it creates a double tax for the driver.
the
The
driver.
driver is driving and is still being distracted with the fact that, August, sit down back. You they cover the mirror. Sit down back.
Yes.
Or you're just sleeping. Is not getting motivation. His radio has lost tune with network. He does not have a Bluetooth or something to connect. It's just there. And even virtually 90% of the passengers are sleeping, and he's just all alone.
Oh my God.
You can see how frustrating drivers go
Very,
through.
very.
So
I think that is a special plea from me, and I'm sure from Odidi as well, because I've noticed that, and these persons are so interested, in sitting in front that sometimes, as soon as they get there, in fact, if you want to fight with them, they are ready to fight. Just to
they won't try their phone for fun.
yeah, just to sit in front. But what is so special, by the way, when you can't even engage the driver, because the essence of having someone in front is to engage the driver,
Keep him
to keep him
active.
busy and
Yeah.
active all through. Anyways, what is your final advice, please?
On a final thing, don't drink and drive. If you need to drink, please avoid driving this season. And also, please, for drivers, ensure you run a proper check on your car before hitting the major roads for proper safety checks and security of your passengers or your occupant. And for the ones within the community, ensure you lock your car appropriately while celebrating. Don't let them thief your small Christmas car. Right? Stay
That's another
safe
thing.
and be good.
Okay, now before we go, Didi, for those who might be traveling first thing tomorrow morning or this night, what are the things they need to really check in their vehicles?
Well, as for drivers, please try holding up a little blade in case to trip up some cuts and all that. Your touch light, if possible. Don't use phone. Use touch light. And also, please check your electrical settings or wires in the car to avoid a sudden spark of light. And please, fire extinguisher. Keep it safe in your boot for emergencies. And your spare tires. Car fit stop for road. Nobody will rescue you. Everybody is being skeptical of every car that stops on the road. So please stay safe and be guided.
All right, stay safe, and I will wish you Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
That means we're not seeing till next year, 2025.
No, we likely see before New
Are you
Year.
sure? That's 31st.
31st.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Thereabout.
Yeah, but God willing.
Yeah. See you guys.
Okay, see you
2025.
guys. My name is Honorable Apedi Great. Like Odidi did say, stay safe and stay blessed. Merry Christmas.
Are you ready for this?
Keep this frequency clear.
We're live.
I woke up with a feeling.
Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja.
I'm Prophet Ambassador Prince James Kunle F. Siba from Peculiar God's Glory Ministry